Then when I start looking at that, I go, yeah, that ain't good, because that's going to go right in my radiator. Okay, this is proving to be a little bit more challenging than I thought. Only one bolt snapped in this whole process. So, I've spared you guys a lot of work, rust, dirt, whatnot. Here's the deal, is I tried to put this on the engine stand. All right, everybody, time to get going again here. So, as you saw, we did a bunch of prep to get this thing ready to come out. Motor mounts, one right down there. You can see it, one on the other side. Are the only thing holding this thing in. We got a plate sitting up there. There were some studs holding the carb on, but it had an unthreaded section in the middle of the stud, so I couldn't use that to bolt the plate down. So ran over to the old parts, well, Lowe's actually, and grabbed me some nuts here, or bolts, and some washers. So I think we'll be ready to go. That's going to be step one, is get that thing bolted down, because that's what we're going to hook the engine hoist to. So here we go. Pulling the old 352 FE out of this F100 since it's seized up thanks to Hurricane Helene and flooding this thing out with salt water. So now it doesn't turn anymore. And if you've seen our previous videos about this, you know, there's a little bit of a sneak peek of what's inside the motor. But anyway, we'll get this thing off of here and get it on an engine stand. And that's the goal for this video, is extraction and mounting. So here we go. Okay, guys, maybe this, I don't know. We stumbled on our first step out the gate. So these are those studs that I was telling you about, and if you look at these, you can see they're actually two different threads. The top part where the nut went is a 5/16 by 24, so a fine thread. The bottom, because I had not pulled the studs out yet, is actually the 5/16 by 18, so a coarse. So if you look here, I bought those bolts because I thought that's what it was based off of the nuts, and just didn't, but that explains why there's a section in the middle that doesn't have any thread on it. And then here is what the bottom is. So this is what's actually in the intake. So I'm gonna go back to Lowe's real quick, spend another 88 cents or whatever it is, and get the right bolts, because one's bolt don't work. So anyway, small stumble, but nothing unfixable. Be back at you in a minute once I've got the right bolts and got the plate mount. All right, everybody, quick update. This is on. So I got the new bolts. I'd recommend buying 3/4 inch bolts, because they didn't have those, so I had to buy the 1 inch. And as you can see, I've had to do, I mean, I got those big washers purposely to put on there, but otherwise I had to put in some other washers just for spacing. But that sucker's bolted down now, so we're ready to rock. Anyway, moving forward to the next step, which is to get the crane hooked up before I can undo these motor mounts. All right, everybody, we're back at it again on a new day. You know, nice day outside. But we're gonna get going. I got the crane here like I was talking about. We got the old Daytona 500 going here. So just started, but started working on the crane. Got it in here. Got my chains and stuff and all that set up. But here's what I want you to see is that's about as close as I can get. I'm gonna get a little pad and put between it and the bumper. And you can see I got some reach there, which the chain allows me to reach it. So that's not my problem. The issue is it's gonna come forward about a foot. And then when I start looking at that, I go, yeah, that ain't good, because that's gonna go right in my radiator. So what I'm gonna do is take the radiator out. I mean, it's all disconnected as far as the hoses anyway, but I'm gonna take the old radiator out as 4 bolts, get that out of the way, because that was a new radiator I bought. I mean, a year ago or whatever, but it's part of the new stuff we bought to put the truck back together. And yeah, I don't want to leave that there, because it'll get destroyed. So that's coming out. Then we'll work on trying to hoist this out. I don't know if I'm gonna have to take the front of the truck out or not, to be honest with you. I'd like to not, but this is going to be discovery learning as we go. So what we're going to do is get this thing hooked up, start hoisting it, and see where we get. I don't know. Hood off, grill out, core support. All right. Stick with us. We'll see where we end up. All right, there's the radiator. Got that pulled out. Drained it out the rest of the way and all that. So that's just sitting there. I'll probably do something else with that so it doesn't get messed up over time. But anyway, here we are. This is hooked up. Got my chain going. You know, got 2 feet of chain. Only need about 1 foot of it. So anyway, that's hooked up. I stole a little kneeling pad from my wife's garden and stuff. So this is all set up. I got this sitting here. This is all tight. So now I just got to start working on the motor mounts, which there's one down there, and then the same thing over on the other side. Squeeze by here without kicking my big toe or something. And then the other one's down over here on this side, right there. So we're gonna get to work on those and see if we can get those suckers out, and we'll go from there. Okay, this is proving to be a little bit more challenging than I thought. I didn't have high hopes that this would work this way, but I just had to confirm it because I didn't want to take the whole front of the truck off if I didn't have to. But here's the deal. We undid the bolts to the motor mounts down there that bolted to the engine. It's just one bolt on each side with the rubber mounts. I did not take apart the whole mount. Try to get my light here for you while I'm talking. But yeah, so like up underneath that V-shaped mount is a bolt that goes to that rubber piece right there. So I took the nut off of that. So in theory, this will lift straight up pretty much. But I also thought maybe if I just take these V's out, then the whole motor will swing forward for me. But I've got rusted nuts and stuff, and it's inside of the frame area where it's hard to get to and all of that. So not something I really want to do. When I start lifting up on the motor, the back end comes up. Even when I'm on the front here, the back end comes up instead of the front end kind of lifting up out of the motor mount. So this isn't working. I put a piece of wood there to try to brace that, so you know, wasn't busting my my hoist. But this just isn't the right thing. Now the other issue is I want, oh my god, this light and this wire drives me nuts. This is looking pretty sketchy as far as the paint and all that. I want to paint the bumper, around the headlights and all that stuff white to match the wheels, to go with the blue and white and chrome kind of deal. But anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and start taking the front of the truck apart. That's all I can see to do at this point. That's probably the right way to do it, because you see there's this much room. So once I do that, then I can get the hoist in straight up over the motor. It only has to come up a few inches really to clear those bolts on that motor mount right there in the middle of the screen, and then the whole motor's out. So that's probably the right way to do it. I don't think I was going to be able to get it up high enough anyway, so we're going to take the front part of the truck off so we can get the motor out, because yeah, and then I can paint the grill and all that when I'm doing it. So anyway, that's what we're going to do next. Coming back to give you another update. There's a pile of bolts. They're all 1/2-inch bolts. It's all stuff that holds on parts of the fender or the grill and stuff. So went ahead and took those 2 out. Come back here. That one's out. That one's out. There's 2 more. Since there's nuts on the back, those are hard to get to by yourself. So might have to work on those later. There was another bolt that came through right there, but it comes through from the fender. And then there was only 1 bolt here, but there's supposed to be 2. So those came out. Came over here, took these 3 out. And then down here, there was 1 there. The one on that side was missing. And then maybe there's supposed to be a bolt right there. I don't know. Maybe there was supposed to be 1 over here. Also, don't know, but they weren't there. Anyway, so all that's out. Let me squeeze around my hoist there. Went ahead and took those 2 out. I'm not working on those other ones behind there because you see I got to pull the battery tray out of here in order to get to those fender bolts because they're underneath it. But you know, we'll get to that. Right now I'm working on the grill. So the grill, as you can see, is starting to get loose so that it can come out. That's separated off of the cross member there. So what I got to do now is take these off, which is just some screws, so I can get to a bolt that's right back there. I can show you. It's down in there. Yep, down in there. That's where it is. That's got to come out, I think, because there's a bracket. It holds it to the fender and stuff. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and take those off, you know, the surrounds, and see if we can get to those bolts, and then hopefully that'll get the grill out of here. And once the grill's out, then I can start working on the core support. Okay, that's what I thought. So that is where that bolt is, right there. So all we did was the 2 screws. I just put them back up top there so you can see them. My lighting right now is killing me. What's good for me to work is bad for the filming. But anyway, that just pops off with 2 screws, and then there's that thing. But that's a rusty mess, so we're gonna see what we can do about getting that, somehow get it loose. Okay, quick update. Pulled this side off, and you can see that's actually a bolt, not a big screw. So I was able to get the other one out, thankfully. So now I'm just gonna try to get this one out. And I think it seems like the grill's gonna come out as soon as I do this. And then I'll just have a couple wires to unplug from the lights, but that'll be easy. So hopefully this is the last thing holding it in. Let's see if when you come back, maybe the grill's out. Okay, that's the grill. So really it's just the bolts that I showed you there is what gets that thing off. Those 2 behind the headlights were the last things holding it on, and it comes all out. That blue part on top, I think, comes separate if you want to do that, but I wasn't working on that part right now. I just need it out of here. But as you can see, I'm glad I took it off because there's dirt and leaves and things that we just never got to. You can see, you know, rustiness and stuff. These were the wires, just the, these were for the headlights. And then that's for the turn signals right there. But basically that's all you had to undo was those 2 wires on that side. Sneak around over here, and then these wires over here. But as you can see, there's a bunch of leaves and junk in here that I'm glad I was able to, I'll be glad to get those out of there. Anyway, they've probably been holding some moisture and stuff. But so there you go, that's that step. I'm gonna take a break and get some food, maybe walk a dog. Stuff like that before I come back and try to get this core support out. But we're getting there, and then you know, we got a couple more panels to get out because you can see this piece doesn't come out with the grill, but I truthfully don't know what else is holding that in there. Might not really be anything, I don't know. We'll see. No, I don't know. I'm not sure what's holding that in there right now, but we'll figure it out. And we'll get this core support out, and then we'll be able to get in here. And you can see, once you get this stuff out of the way, then we can get the hoist right back up in there, and we'll get that motor out. Okay, here we go. So I've spared you guys a lot of work, rust, dirt, whatnot. It's the next day. Worked last night for a while. Trying to get where we can get. So I had taken the grill off before. Sorry for the bright light, but that's going to be needed for what I'm going to show you here. So up underneath here is where the bumper, there you go, that's where the bumper connects. So I got those off. In addition to that, I've been coming through here, getting all these bolts off. I got all these bolts here along there, because if you look, the fender actually goes, you know, outside of the, or basically captures this cross members, so the fenders have to come out some and all of that. So we've been doing a bunch of work, just pulling all kind of bolts and stuff out so we can get to a point where, like even all the way back here, I pulled that out. So, I mean, I think the fender is almost ready to come off. There was a bunch of bolts back down in here. Trying to show you, but you got these cross members and some other stuff back down in there. So anyway, we've been working on all of that, trying to get to where we are. And the bumper is unbolted. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that off and show you that, and then go for lunch. Okay, back with you. So bumper's off. There, you can see that's the two places it connects. So that's all good. Got that off. There's rust in there, obviously, but that's the frame rails, and they're fine. I hauled the bumper over here. So there you go, it's the bumper. It's rusty on the back again, but nothing super crazy. So that bumper can go back on as it is. I'll probably paint it something white or chrome, or I don't know. Anyway, that's all off. So now I think we're getting real close, but I gotta go run and do a couple errands, get some lunch so I don't pass out, and then we'll come back and see what the next thing is that I got off of here. All right, the front's off. So I was able to get that all off. Only one bolt snapped in this whole process, which is kind of surprising to me, but that was it. So this is all off. The only bolt that snapped was the one that went through this body mount right here. However, if you see over here, this body mount is still here. It's kind of holding the inner fender well up a little bit. That is part of the core support right there, which is completely rusted out. So I get to get a new core support, apparently. I'm gonna choose to phrase it that way. Yay, I get a new core support. To be honest, the other one, it's rusty other than that, but because of that, we're gonna have to get a new core support, which I think you can order from like a few different places, LMC Truck, National Parts Depot, stuff like that. Otherwise, you can see, I mean, here's the fenders, the inner fenders and stuff. That ammo can that was welded on there. So it's all apart. So let's head over here and we'll look at it. So this is sitting here. The horns are still on it, which obviously I'll have to move to the new one. And then that front little clip right there, I gotta figure out how to get that off. I don't know. It's attached somehow. Some clips or something. We'll figure that out, but I'm trying not to get bogged down on that right this minute. And then I'll go right back there, but that's where that piece is missing from, on that side, because it's on that side. But I still got my voltage regulators and some other stuff on here. So anyway, this is the deal. It is out. So how about you? Look at that. Now that allows me to get this crane in here. So I think I'm excited. I think we're gonna get this motor out of here today. That's my plan. I'm gonna get the old engine stand around here and see if we can get it on the engine stand. All right. So I changed my setup, got rid of the chain, don't need that anymore. Just went straight to that setup. Since we can get the hoist all the way in here, we are able to, you know, really get this all set up good and pull straight up. So as soon as we did that, I don't know if you can see it with the lighting like it is, but we're loose on that side and we're loose on that side. So anyway, the motor is hanging. So we're gonna start pulling this back. I don't have my cameraman here with me right now. He's getting ready to go to work. Works at the old Chick-fil-A. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna pull this out some and then I'll show you what we got once I get it out of the truck. All right, here we go. So I backed the truck away from the motor some, made myself some more room. but she's out. So success as far as that goes. Now, before I can put it on the engine stand, which I pulled out and got sitting right there, we got to get the old bell housing off of here. So I'm going to start working on that, and there's a starter over there too. So I'm going to start working on getting the bell housing off, and then we'll see if we can get it on the engine stand. I don't know if I have the right bolts, but if I don't, I'm going to go buy some. All right, so here's the starter. There was a bolt right there. There's that bolt. There was no bolt up there. So yeah, anyway, these bolts are also not very tight. I don't know what the torque spec's supposed to be, but literally they started just coming out pretty easy. So I'm gonna put the camera down so I can hold the starter while I take that last bolt out, and starter will be out. All right, so that's the starter. There's your 3 bolts. One of them had backed out. That's why it wasn't in the hole. It was just sitting there if you had a sharp eye. And then the other issue is, good God Almighty, I never got down there and looked at that before. So lucky we didn't have more issues. Starter was working up until the flood though, so that's why I never kind of really checked it, but should have. Anyway, that's out. Onto the bell housing. Got the bell housing off. So there's the rusty mess of a clutch and a flywheel and all of that stuff. That fell out on the floor. I didn't see how it was in there, so I'm gonna have to look up how that goes. Make sure I'm putting it in backwards. Other than that, the bell housing is right here. Nothing remarkable there. Just other than the rubber piece for the lever was completely destroyed and wasn't really sealing anything. But that's over there. Our parts pile is getting bigger and bigger. Yeah, that's that rusty mess right there. Again, I don't think that's what's going to seize up the motor. So I think we're going to have to wait until we get some heads off and get the oil pan off and some of that. But anyway, that's where we're at right now. Starter's off. Now I just got to get the rest of this stuff off, and then we'll be able to start working on the bolts, which I found out what I need and I don't have. So I'm going to have to go get those. So anyway, yeah, let me pick that up off the floor and put it in a baggie, and then we'll work on getting this off. All right, here we go. So that's off. There's your flywheel. That thing is a rusty mess. Holy crap. I went ahead and put this over here, but there's your clutch bolts there. Yeah, that's all rusty too. So pretty much gonna have to get new stuff there. So there you go, if you wanted to see what was going on. Not the best. So I don't know. What do you think, guys? Just throw that back in there and let it just rip the, clean it. Throw it back in there, because I mean, as far as the clutch itself, it looks great. Looks new. As far as thickness and the springs look good and all that, but I don't know. What do you think? Clean it off and put it back in there? Let it just wear itself in? I don't know. Comment below if that looks like a disaster area. I don't know that I could do anything about that. I guess maybe try to sand it, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, what we're gonna do right now though is get it off, so I can go to the next step of trying to get this on the engine stand. So here we go. Gonna get that off and show you what that looks like. All right, here we go. Got the flywheel off. Thanks again to the impact, because those were rusted on there pretty good. But that came off. It's over here, so you got your backing plate there and then your flywheel. Just got all that stacked up. Engine stand right there, which I've got these bolts, but they're not the right size. These are metric for the BMW. So I need, I think a 7/16 coarse thread. I took a picture of what I needed because I got the little thread sample size thingamajig over there. So anyhow, yeah, this is going on an engine stand tonight. So I just got to go clean up a little bit, throw some different clothes on that aren't covered in grease, and then we'll go get some bolts so we can get it on this engine stand, and move on to the next step, which is tearing it apart, figure out why it's seized up on me. So anyway, that's where I'm gonna go, off to the store. All right, we're back, here you go. So this is the end of this video, so part 2 of taking the engine out. Next time is gonna be tearing it apart and see if we can figure out what caused it to seize. I mean, obviously it got salt water in it, so that's the reason, but the question is, what exactly is causing that problem? Here's the deal, is I tried to put this on the engine stand, and I don't know, I'm not super happy with how it's on here because the weight's not right. So I think what I'm going to do is adjust this bottom right one, take it off of there and put it up where that other one is, so put it like right up there. So it's a little more balanced. I was trying to give it some better support down at the bottom, but I mean, I guess in reality it's better to have it more balanced, because right now it really wants to go left. So I think I'm going to do that because I can't get this one, doesn't reach that bottom hole right down there. So because of that, I can't do what I really wanted to do. So I have to do what I can make work. So I did it this way, but it's just very unbalanced and I don't like it. So I'll probably tweak that, but otherwise this is all done. We're back in the garage with the trucks back in here. There's going to be a ton of while you're in there's as we get working on this thing, but you can see my 2x4 back there. I had resting the flywheel on that while I had the trans out so that it would hold the engine, support it. In the absence of the trans, I did have another trans on Facebook Marketplace that I found for 175 bucks, but it got sold before I could get to it. So anyway, this is so where we're at. Thanks for everybody who subscribed. We're over 750 now, and just keep hitting that subscribe button if you're first time watching this stuff, and you'll see what we're doing with this motor, see why it's seized, see what while you're in there's we do over here to try to make this better, so it's even better when we put all this stuff back together. And then there's going to be some stuff on this Toyota pickup. Sorry for the finger. Anyway, that's what we're doing. Thanks for watching, and come back for the next episode so you can see why this seized up.